Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive exploring something pretty fascinating.
Fascinating and a little bit sci-fi.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. It kind of feels like something out of a movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
can AI really help us live longer?
That's the big question we're tackling today.
Exactly, and to help us make sense of all this, we've got some insights from the health experts over at Alliance Partners.
And they've got a lot to say about how AI could be adding years to our lives.
Not just in the future, but like right now.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild when you think about it. I mean, when I think about living longer, I think about, hitting the gym.
Yeah, the classic advice, diet, and exercise.
Right. Not necessarily algorithms and data and all that.
You're definitely right. Those things will always be important. But AI can give us this whole new level of personalized insight.
Okay, so walk me through that. What do you mean personalized?
Well, one area is early disease detection, where AI can basically predict if we're likely to get sick even before any symptoms even pop up.
Whoa, hold on. So it's like Minority Report, but for health.
Kinda, yeah. These algorithms can analyze tons of data, your medical records, family history, even your lifestyle choices.
So it can spot patterns and risks that maybe a doctor wouldn't necessarily catch right away.
Right. And the power of that early detection is you can start making changes sooner.
Before it becomes a major issue.
Exactly. So let's say the AI says, hey, you've got a high risk of developing heart disease.
Okay, that would definitely get my attention.
Right. So now you're empowered, you might change your diet, start exercising, maybe both.
Instead of waiting for a heart attack to happen and then reacting, you're getting ahead of it.
That's the game changer here. It's proactive healthcare.
Okay, I like where this is going. So beyond predicting diseases, what else can AI do?
Well, let's talk about personalized treatment plans.
Okay, now we're talking. What does that look like?
So picture this. You visit your doctor, and they've got all your info, but not just the usual stuff,
Like medical history, yeah.
but also data from your wearables, maybe even genetic testing results, and they plug it all into this AI system.
So it's creating a plan just for you.
A plan that takes into account your lifestyle, your preferences, everything.
That's incredible. So it's not just about getting the right medication, it's about how and when you take it too.
Exactly. For example, if you always forget to take your meds in the morning, the AI might suggest an evening dose instead.
So it makes it more likely you'll actually stick with the plan.
Exactly. It's all about optimizing everything to fit you.
Wow. It really is like having a health coach who knows you inside and out.
And speaking of health coaching, that's another area where AI is making huge strides.
Wait, like those apps that track your steps and sleep?
Those are a good starting point, but the next generation of AI health coaches are going to go way beyond just tracking.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, imagine personalized advice, but I'm talking really specific, actionable advice, like maybe this AI coach suggests a new running route based on where you live and what you like.
Or it could recommend recipes that fit your diet perfectly.
Exactly. It might even use motivational techniques that work best for your personality type.
So it's like having a cheerleader in your pocket, pushing you towards better choices.
Pretty much. And the best part is this kind of personalized support could be available to anyone, regardless of whether they can afford a human coach or not.
This is all pretty exciting. Feels like we're on the verge of a real revolution in healthcare.
It does, doesn't it?
But I have to ask, what about doctors in all of this? I mean, are we going to see AI replacing them altogether?
That's a common concern, but the real goal isn't replacement. It's more like augmentation.
Augmentation, so working together.
Exactly. Think of it like AI handling the data analysis, maybe monitoring vital signs.
And doctors can focus on the bigger picture.
Precisely. The human touch, the empathy, the things AI can't do.
So AI becomes a tool that makes doctors even better at what they do.
Exactly. And let's not forget, AI can also improve access to healthcare.
Like for people who live in rural areas?
Or people with limited mobility. AI-powered telehealth could be a game changer, bringing healthcare to them.
Like democratizing healthcare, making it available to everyone.
That's a big part of its potential.
I really like that. That's a powerful idea. But there's another side to this whole AI monitoring thing that I think we need to talk about.
What's that?
Well, it's the idea that AI could be watching our health 24/7. And I have to say, that makes me a little uncomfortable, a little big brother-ish.
I hear you. That's definitely a valid concern. But what if we flip the script a little? What if instead of Big Brother, it's more like having a guardian angel looking out for you?
Okay, I'm curious, how do you see that playing out?
Well, imagine this. You're wearing a device that's tracking your heart rhythm, and it picks up on something irregular, something that could be serious. This AI guardian angel, it instantly alerts you and your doctor. potentially saving your life.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's like an early warning system, catching problems before they become big emergencies.
That's the idea. And it goes beyond these dramatic interventions, too. Think about people managing chronic conditions. Someone with diabetes, for instance, the AI could analyze their blood sugar readings constantly.
And warn them about dangerous spikes or drops so they can adjust their medication or diet.
Exactly. Empowering people to stay on top of their health, even when they're not actively thinking about it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here. But all this data, all this monitoring, it does raise some big questions about privacy.
You're absolutely right. That's something we can't ignore. How do we make sure this information is protected, used responsibly? It's a crucial question.
Yeah, because if my health data is out there, I want to know it's safe, like in some super secure digital vault.
That's a good way to think about it. Data security is paramount, but it goes beyond just keeping it safe. Transparency and control are essential too.
Meaning, I should know what data is being collected, who has access, how it's being used.
Precisely. And there's a growing movement towards data ownership, giving individuals the right to access, control, even share their own health data.
So it's about putting the power back in the patient's hands.
Exactly. Giving them more agency over their health and well-being.
I like that. It feels like a much more balanced approach, technology working for us, not dictating to us.
And as we move forward, open conversations about these issues are essential. We need to find the right balance, you know?
Absolutely. Harness the power of AI while protecting individual rights.
It's a complex landscape for sure.
It is, no doubt about it. And as we navigate it, it's important to remember that AI is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to health and longevity.
What do you mean by that? Like there are other factors at play?
Exactly. AI can help us make better choices, predict diseases, personalize treatments, but it can't magically solve all the underlying social and environmental factors that influence our health.
Okay, so we're talking about things like access to healthy food, clean water, safe housing.
Those things, absolutely. Affordable healthcare, too. Those are fundamental, regardless of how advanced our technology gets. So it's about a more holistic approach. AI can boost individual health, but it's not a substitute for tackling those bigger systemic issues.
Well said. It's about creating a world where everyone has the chance to thrive, to live a long and healthy life.
That's a powerful message. And I think it leads us perfectly to our next big question. Is there even a limit to how long we can live? I mean, we've been talking about how AI can help us live longer, but is there a ceiling?
Now that's a question that's been debated for centuries. No easy answers there. But there are some really interesting developments in aging research, developments that suggest we might be able to extend our lifespan significantly.
Okay, now you've really got my attention. Tell me more about these developments. What are we talking about here?
Well, let's dive into that after a quick break. We were talking about those breakthroughs in aging research, stuff that makes you think, hey, maybe we can really push the boundaries of how long we can live.
Yeah, it's definitely mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin? What are researchers focusing on these days?
Well, one area that's really hot right now is senescent cells.
Senescent cells. Okay, gotta admit, not familiar with those. Break it down for me.
So these are cells that have basically stopped dividing, but they're not dead yet. And the thing is, they can actually make us age faster.
How so? What do they do?
They release all these harmful substances that can damage the tissues around them.
They're like little troublemakers, messing things up.
That's a good way to put it. Causing inflammation, disrupting the normal function of our organs. And now researchers are developing drugs called senolytics that can target and eliminate these senescent cells.
So it's like weeding out the bad apples to help the whole tree thrive.
Exactly. And early studies have shown some really promising results, improving health span, even extending lifespan in animals.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're on the verge of some major breakthroughs here.
Yeah.
Are there any other areas of aging research that have you particularly excited?
Oh, absolutely. The microbiome is another one that's just fascinating.
The microbiome. Remind me, what is that exactly?
It's the trillions of bacteria that live in our gut. And get this, they play a huge role in our overall health, and researchers are finding more and more connections between the microbiome and how we age.
So the bacteria in our gut can actually influence how long we live. That's wild.
It is pretty mind-blowing. And what's really exciting is that we might be able to manipulate the microbiome through things like diet and probiotics.
To actually promote healthy aging.
Exactly. Imagine getting personalized nutrition recommendations based on your unique gut bacteria.
That's amazing. Tailor-made advice to help you live longer.
It's like having a custom roadmap for your health. And AI is going to be a key player in all of this. AI algorithms can analyze huge amounts of data, genetic information, clinical trial results, lifestyle factors.
To identify potential targets for anti-aging interventions.
Exactly. It's like having an army of scientists working around the clock to crack the code of aging.
This is all incredibly exciting. It feels like we're on the cusp of a revolution in how we understand and approach aging.
I think so too. And as this research continues, I think we have every reason to be optimistic about the possibility of living longer, healthier, and more vibrant lives than ever before.
It's inspiring to think about all the possibilities. But as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to something we talked about earlier, the idea of AI being constantly present in our lives. It's a powerful tool with so much potential for good, but it's also important to consider the implications to make sure we're using it wisely and ethically.
I couldn't agree more. It's about finding that balance, harnessing the power of AI while also protecting our privacy, our autonomy, our values as humans.
Well said. And for our listeners who are eager to explore this world further, who want to learn more about AI and longevity, what would you recommend as a good starting point?
I'd say start by educating yourself. There are so many great resources out there, books, articles, podcasts. Dive into the latest research, learn about the different perspectives and approaches, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The more we understand about AI and its potential, the better equipped we'll be to shape its future in a way that benefits all of humanity.
That's a great call to action, and I think it speaks to the heart of what we're trying to do here with this deep dive. To inspire curiosity, to spark conversation, to empower our listeners to engage with these big ideas that are shaping our world.
Exactly, because ultimately the future is in our hands. And by working together, by being informed and engaged, we can create a future where AI enhances our lives, helps us live longer and healthier, and enables us to reach our full potential as human beings.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we want to thank you all for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of AI and longevity. We hope this deep dive has left you feeling informed, inspired, and empowered. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and keep striving for a healthier, brighter future for all.
So before the break, we were starting to get into some of those cutting-edge developments in aging research.
Yeah, and you were saying that maybe we could extend our lifespan significantly.
That's what some of the research is pointing to.
That's pretty amazing to think about. So, what kind of things are scientists working on? What's giving them this hope?
One area that's really exciting is research into something called senescent cells.
Senescent cells, what are those?
Okay, so these are cells that have stopped dividing, but they haven't died off.
So they're kind of like zombie cells.
In a way, yeah. And the problem is they can actually contribute to the aging process.
How do they do that?
Well, they release these harmful substances that can damage the tissues around them.
So they're like little troublemakers, causing inflammation and disrupting how our organs work.
Exactly. And researchers are now developing drugs that can actually target and eliminate these senescent cells.
Wow, so it's like getting rid of the bad apples to help the whole bunch stay healthy?
That's a great way to put it. And early studies have shown some promising results, like improving health span and even extending lifespan in animal models.
That's incredible. So are there any other areas of research that have you really excited?
Oh, absolutely. The microbiome is another one that's just fascinating.
The microbiome, that's the trillions of bacteria that live in our gut, right?
Exactly. And it turns out they play a much bigger role in our overall health than we used to think.
So are you saying the bacteria in our gut can actually affect how we age?
The research is showing that, yes. And what's even more exciting is that we might be able to manipulate the microbiome through things like diet and probiotics to promote healthy aging.
Wow, so personalized nutrition based on your unique gut bacteria.
Precisely. And AI is going to play a huge role in accelerating these discoveries.
So how does AI fit into all of this?
Well, AI algorithms can analyze massive amounts of data, genetic information, clinical trial data, lifestyle factors, and use that to pinpoint potential targets for anti-aging interventions.
So it's like having an army of researchers working 24/7 to crack the code of aging.
Exactly. And I really believe that as this research progresses, we have every reason to be optimistic.
Optimistic about what?
About the possibility of significantly extending our healthy lifespans, living longer, and more importantly, living better.
That's a really powerful message. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure.
It's clear that AI has the potential to revolutionize healthcare and maybe even help us unlock the secrets of longevity.
I think so too.
But as with any powerful technology, it's crucial that we approach it thoughtfully and responsibly. always keeping in mind the ethical considerations.
Couldn't agree more.
For our listeners, this is just the beginning of the conversation, and we encourage you to keep exploring this fascinating topic.
There's so much more to learn and discover.
And who knows what incredible breakthroughs await us in the future. Until next time, stay curious and keep asking those big questions.